Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. It is Leicester versus Liverpool in a genuine 6-pointer for the top four. Yippee ki-yay. I am here for the Start 11 prediction show, as I always am, to try and predict Jurgen Klopp's starting 11 for this one. As I mentioned, it is a genuine 6-pointer. I believe Liverpool win this game, then we've got a chance at second or third in the league this season, an outside chance at the title, but not holding any hopes of that one. If Liverpool don't win this game, then we could be 6 points behind Leicester if Leicester are to win, and it's not going to be a draw. So it's a massive game for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp in particular. I think for me, we're going to start with Alisson. I know he had a rough time out last time out, but the fact of the matter is he's still our best goalkeeper. He's still going to be in there, and we can forget about that performance because he's been sensational for us while he's been there, apart from the last game. Anyway, Andy Robertson's going to start at left back, then the question marks over the centre-halves. I personally would like to just get in 2 centre-halves, get the midfielders back in. I think Jurgen's going to err on the side of caution slightly. So I'm going to say that he's going to pick Fabinho, and then it's going to be Kabak next to him. So it's going to be a new centre-back partnership regardless. If one of the new lads comes in, could you play Davies there? Maybe. We'll come to that when we get to the comments at the end of this show. Trent Alexander-Arnold, because I'm sure everybody will want to know and see what it looks like with the different centre-halves and all that. But Trent's going to go in at right back. This frees up Jordan Henderson. Now, personally, I'd like to see Jordan Henderson in an 8, but I do think that Jurgen's going to throw him in the 6, and maybe we move Gini Wijnaldum back into the 8 from the 6 from the last few weeks, and Thiago will probably start on the right-hand side of the midfield again. Again, though, I wouldn't mind actually seeing it a little bit more like this, if I'm honest. I want to see him there. I want to see him supporting Mo Salah and stuff like that. But I do think that Jurgen's going to have other ideas, and I do think that Jurgen's going to play the midfield and set the midfield up like that. So onto the left wing, lad, I really am desperate to see come into a little bit of form right now, and that's Sadio Mane. I want to see him get back in the goals, ease that burden on Mo Salah, who I think will start at right wing, and then up top, Bobby Firmino. Now that I think we know that we're missing Jota still and all that type of stuff, but I just don't see that he's going to drop Roberto Firmino no matter what form he's in at the moment. Onto the substitutes then. I've not heard anything about Kelleher at the moment, so I'm going to say that Adrian starts in nets. Starts on the bench. James Milner, after Costas' little cameo the other day, he's not going to make my bench. James Milner's going to be the left-back option. I think Ben Davies and Nat Phillips are both going to make the bench, along with right-back Nico Williams. Then believe it's going to be Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Xherdan Shaqiri, Kurt Jones and Divock Origi to round off our starting 11. Obviously, we'll be back into the comments in a few minutes time, but first of all, just want to tell you a little bit about Footstock, because we've been loving Footstock and we've got some exciting news from our partnership with the app. You can win big cash prizes and put your football knowledge to the ultimate test with Footstock. It's free to download in the description of this video. Open packs and trade players, enter your team into fantasy contests and win money from your football knowledge. Footstock combines player trading and your managerial knowledge to help you really put your money where your mouth is. Buy and sell players with other users on the Footstock market, or nab some of the world's biggest players in the app's blind auctions. Use your team to enter a load of exciting fantasy contests with seriously huge cash prizes, including our own. Okay, the Redmen TV Cup, my fantasy footy side, is going in there. I've obviously opened packs and stuff like that, got loads of players in, so I'm going to enter the contest right now. And if you just scroll down there, I'm sure the Redmen TV Cup, there it is. It's a new contest, the Redmen TV Cup. That looks pretty good there, she blows. So I've got 4 players to pick from, and there's no position requirements on this. I can just pick any 4 players. I can play 2 goalkeepers if I really want to. But I'm going to start off with Marcus Rashford. We know that he's on averaging 21 points per game. He's one of my only 2 4-star players, and we know the type of form that he's been in right now. So I'm going to select Marcus Rashford. I'm going to go Meslier. He's averaging 19 points a game in goal for Leeds at the moment. They've obviously got Arsenal at the weekend, so I think there's an opportunity there for a clean sheet, because Arsenal, much like us, have been struggling. I'm going to go Ilkay Gundogan, the goal scoring form. We know all about it. He's a 3-star player, but he's trending in the right direction. The last few weeks, he's scored quite a few goals and stuff like that. So I'm going to add Ilkay Gundogan in there as well. So you can see those 3 players have gone in there. 2 4-star players, 1 3-star player. And the final one, let's have a little look. It's a toss-up, really. I mean, I know Ruben Diaz could do well for Manchester City. He's averaging 15 points a game. But I'm going to scroll down. There's Gabriel Jesus there as well. Harry Maguire. Thiago Silva's injured at the moment. He's probably out for the next 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm probably not going to go with him, although I did kind of fancy him. I'm going to go for another Chelsea player, and I'm going to go for Timo Werner. Thomas Tuchel's come in, he gets an assist last Premier League game. So for me, I think there's an opportunity there where he scores a goal. If he scored a goal, it's something like 20 points. So I'm just going to go in there now. now and just go enter that competition. And I just want to quickly scroll over and show you what I've been looking at to do my little research and stuff like that. So Timo Werner there, you can see he's trending in the wrong direction, but I just fancy him. And then if we go into the Sheffield United contest, you get 10 points for an assist, you get 20 for a goal, 6 points for a win, successful dribbles as well. This is the reason why I think Marcus Rashford's a good shout, regardless of whether he scores a goal or not, because you can see in his performance against Everton there, he had 5 successful dribbles. That gained 10 points. So Marcus Rashford's going to do that all day. Anyway, that is my team for the Redmen TV Cup. I hope you're able to join me for it, and I hope that I absolutely smash it. Okay, so you've seen my team for the Redmen Cup, the latest and greatest footstock competition with £200 and an actual trophy to be won. This free to enter contest would really show us who of you lot knows their football. So get the Premier League top scorer Salah into your side, and if you think Sadio Mane is going to bag a goal against Leicester, then get him into. The Redmen Cup is open to any user that has signed up in the last 60 days. That includes those who supported the channel and signed up for the Footstock app after our last video. Thank you guys, the support means a lot. As a manager, you'll be able to submit a maximum of 5 teams into the contest, and each team only requires 4 players to be eligible. Remember, sign up using the code Redmen and you'll get 10 untradeable bonus players right off the bat, including a guaranteed 5-star asset. It's completely free to enter and will be running from the 13th to the 15th of February. And remember, you could win a share of £200 plus an actual trophy to commemorate your win. I can see loads and loads of comments coming in, and listen, I know that, you know, Fabinho and Thiago have been not spotted, shall we say, during training and stuff like that. So let's have a little discussion around that point first and foremost. I think obviously if Fabinho isn't in training, then for me, I'm probably looking at maybe Davies in here, something like that, keep the midfield the same. Or the other option is maybe you put Kabak and Phillips in, something like that. Maybe throw Kabak on the left-hand side, throw Big Nat back in there. He's not let us down this season so far. But let's hope that that's not the case. I mean, let's talk about the Davies and Kabak thing first of all, I suppose, because, you know, we know that Davies is that left-sided centre-half. We know he's left-footed. He can play that ball out to Andy Robertson. And one of the things I like about left-footed centre-halves, and this hasn't really come up too much over the course of him signing and us talking about it, is that you think about a press from a midfielder. So what I'll do is I'll use Gini Wijnaldum as a sort of opposition midfielder. When a right-footed fella plays the ball out, the natural bend on the ball is that way, isn't it? Which gives them a little bit more time, whereas you can kick it that way and maybe we get a little bit more time from Davies. So I do want to see a left-sided centre-half over there. But let's just hope that there's another training session, because I know that there is. And let's hope Fabinho just being out is a little bit of a precaution and stuff like that. And then the other big one from the comments section as well is there's a lot of people talking about Kurt Jones, and I think, you know, there might be an option if Fabinho is out and you just want to play one of them. Maybe you do sort of go something like that, or maybe you could get James Milner into that midfield as well instead of Kurt Jones and play the Henderson at the back and stuff like that. So there is quite a few options there at the moment, but for me, as I've mentioned so many times, it's about getting Jordan Henderson into the midfield in some way, shape or form. And everyone knows I want to see him in the 8. I said that earlier on. But the fact is that I do think that Jurgen's going to play him in the 6 and stuff like that. So let's get into some of the actual comments. And Damien Rice just says, Hendo, Gini and Ox in midfield. Hendo, Gini and Ox, that's an interesting one. So no Thiago again. And I must admit, I can't understand the hatred around Thiago. I think it must be, at the moment, I say hatred, that was a bit of a strong word. It must be for me that the problem is that we haven't won loads of games with Thiago. That doesn't make him a bad player for me. I mean, you can see with the eyeball tester, he's an absolutely fantastic footballer. And he's getting involved in our build-up play and everything else. He probably does need a rest at some point. You know, he's come back from an injury and he's pretty much played every game since, hasn't he? So that's obviously something that we need to be aware of. But yeah, ultimately, I think, for me, time will tell, but he's going to be an outstanding footballer for Liverpool. Who do you think will be the key player to break down Leicester, says Imad? I mean, Mo Salah's the obvious shout as the top scorer in the Premier League. I really want Mane to come back in and score a goal, though, to be honest with you, because I think his form has been a little bit lacking of late compared to the high standards that he set. Same with Roberto Firmino. I mean, he's improved a little bit hit and miss over the last couple of games, but certainly on an upwards trajectory overall. Sadio Mane is the one for me. I want to see a big performance from Sadio Mane in this game, and you know, hopefully if we can get Henderson back into the midfield by bringing another centre half in, hopefully Kabak for this this one, then maybe we've got an opportunity there. Costas for Robbo, says Bernal DXN. Now, I didn't even include Costas on the bench, and the reason was, I think James Milner gives us more options. Obviously, you can slot him in at left-back if you need to. You've also got other midfielders there, and Kurt Jones, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Jadon Shaqiri, and stuff like that. So that's why I don't think Costas will be on the bench. But it does definitely, again, Robbo does need a rest at some point. I'm just thinking at the moment that these games are too important, and Leicester, this is a genuine 6-pointer, isn't it? So for me, I don't imagine that that's going to be the case. My nan's got Bunyan, says, well, will Keita be back? Your guess is as good as mine. He's just permanently on our injury report at the moment. Keita and Jota need to hurry up, says BB. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Naby Keita, Diogo Jota surely can't be too far away. We were told sort of mid-February, weren't we, to begin with, so maybe there's been a bit of a delay on that, but no one's really heard anything about Diogo Jota, and hopefully, you know, soon he'll be back in and back amongst the goals, because what an exciting player he was earlier on in the season. Adam Parry says, I think Shaq starts 4-2-3-1, Salah up top, Shaq on the right, and Hendo and Gini in the double pivot. Okay, Salah up top, Shaq on the right. Interesting. Let's do it. What was that one? Salah on the right. Completely lost there. Let's just go with Hendo and Gini in the double pivot. And I'm assuming maybe Thiago or Roberto Firmino, something like that maybe. I mean, I'm all in on Salah going up front every now and again. I don't mind that at all, to be perfectly honest with you. I think, you know, we can see what he does. He's just a natural goal scorer, isn't he? So I think for me, you know, wherever you play Salah, he's going to get himself in front of the net, going to get a couple of opportunities per game and stuff like that. Gini at 6, Hendo at 8, says Kev. I said that earlier on and we've looked at that already, so thank you for that one. Jack Murphy says Fabinho and Thiago were missing in training. Worried we overworked Thiago after a big injury. Yeah, that's what I said earlier, isn't it? You know, I think that Thiago probably does need a little bit of a rest at some point. Not a drop-in, a genuine rest. But yeah, if Fabinho's missing, we've obviously discussed that earlier on in the video. Rest Robertson says Benesh, we've discussed that as well. Obviously, big game against Leicester. I don't think you're resting anybody like Andy Robertson. But, you know, Jurgen Klopp does surprises from time to time. So yeah, there you go. That has been the Starting 11 prediction show. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to download that Footstock app and for a chance of winning £200 in the Redmen TV Cup. Use the code Redmen. The link is in the description. Go over there, support the channel, just like Footstock have supported us. And thank you very much, as I mentioned before. You're all legends, each and every one of you. Don't forget to come back to the channel, of course, for the live watch along on Saturday at 12:30. Can't wait for this one. Big game. Genuinely massive game. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Ta-ra.
Thank you so much for watching the Redmen TV YouTube channel. Everything we do here is funded by our wonderful subscribers to the redmentv.com. Get over there, sign up and get amazing additional content, interviews, documentaries, mini-series, and of course additional pre and post match day content.